Hi everyone, this is Life Coach Hope coming to you from Austin, Texas. Today I'm delivering another golden nugget. I think it's number 8. I've been writing these for a couple years now and I've got hundreds, so I'm really excited about sharing them with y'all via video. This is a great new technology and I apologize for the quality of my video. Anyway, so today's golden nugget is about comparing ourselves and judgment. A lot of us spend a great deal of time judging other people as good or bad, judging ourselves as good or bad. And via my website and also on Facebook, I daily share wisdoms, things and quotes that I've either come across or different concepts that I've come up with. One of them is that the only good reason or the only healthy reason to compare ourselves to others is to inspire ourselves or to encourage ourselves. Everything else is just self-abuse. Now think about that. If you look at someone and you think, well, that person is more attractive than I am, they have more money, they're more fit, they're funny, or whatever it is, then you're judging yourself as bad. And that's not necessarily good either. But if you're looking at them and you're saying, gosh, that person is so attractive, I'd like to be like that. How can I achieve that? Or that person is so compassionate, I'd really like to achieve being compassionate like that person. Then that's much healthier. I'm going to inspire myself to move toward something I see as pleasing, as opposed to judging and looking at them and then saying about ourselves that we are bad or we are less than. And you might say, well, it's natural for us to judge people and to judge the situation. And there's a lot of interesting, I guess, information out there, books out there about judgment. And you can actually live in a place of non-judgment. It is not the natural state necessarily here in America, because we are given so many different images on the television and magazines about what the ideal is. And so it's really difficult to not look at what is considered the ideal in our society and then look at ourselves and judge ourselves as less or try to move toward that. So there's a fine line between looking at something and saying, I prefer that, I think that that's lovely, and that's talking about a preference, I'd like to move toward that, and being authentic about wanting to move toward that, or looking at someone and saying, they're so much better, or their situation is so much better, and mine is bad. Does that make sense? So the difference between a preference and a judgment, why must we judge ourselves as bad when we're judging someone else as good? And the opposite is true too when we're judging. When we look at someone and we judge what they're wearing, we don't necessarily think it's attractive, or we don't like someone's behavior, then we're saying that we're better than they are. So the only reason that we have this whole thing of judgment is to keep ourselves separate from other people. I'm better, they're worse. They're better, I'm worse. That's all it is. It's sort of this separate thing. But in reality, we are all almost exactly alike. We have the same feelings. We go through the same things in life. Everybody wants to be happy. We're a lot more alike than you think. But when we judge, when we push away and we separate ourselves, it doesn't help for our sense of connectedness here on the planet. It really it creates more exclusivity. And some people want to create exclusivity for various reasons, whether it's marketing or that feels safe to do so. But each of us has way more in common with the person next door and the person at the grocery store and even everyone living on the street and the Queen of England. We have a great deal more in common than we don't. But we create all of these different beliefs and judgments in order to feel separate and different, and generally better or worse, depending on what our self-esteem or our self-worth is. So the idea today, the golden nugget, is to watch how you compare yourself to others and to maybe give yourself a vacation from it. When I was living in Washington, D.C., here's a short story, I would get off the metro every day and I would go into this just milieu of people just everywhere. And I remember sort of looking at them and judging what they were wearing and how they were walking and where they were going and who they were and all of these things. And I really didn't like this about myself, and I noticed that it had become a habit of mind. And really it was to keep myself separate from a situation that felt that I had no control over, sort of, too many people, too much movement, too much. this was all in hindsight. But I came back to Texas, and I had dinner with a lady named Constant. And she's the most constant person I know, in that she's the most loving and generous person, generous of spirit, of compassion. And so people at the table were talking about negative things, and everything she said was just so beautiful and so loving and so supportive. And I really took a note from this, and so I ended up going home and writing WWCD on my hand for a week. And so I got off the metro every day, and I was looking into life, and I thought, well, what if Constant were here? What would she be saying? And you know what? She would be appreciating people, and she would be seeing the good in them, and she'd be looking at their smiles, and she'd be, feeling empathetic for their situation. And I started to work toward being more like her. And my brain started to start doing that. I changed what my brain was doing by inserting a new program, if you will, one of love, compassion, acceptance, as opposed to judgment, criticism, and putting people down. We can change our habits of thought. It's just a matter of recognizing what we do, why we do it, and then installing something new that we'd like to do. So now my mind generally looks for the good in people and what to appreciate and what to encourage. So that's the golden nugget for today. It's a little long. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in life coaching, please go to my website, www.lifecoachhope.com. And until the next golden nugget, shine your light and just be gentle with yourself, and watch your self-judgments and your judgments of others. All right, take care. Bye-bye.